Hello, this is Yahuah's Magnified, and I'm back with another informative video. Today's video is titled, A State is a Person Under 42 U.S.C. 1983. Really? But before I tackle this subject, as always, I must state for the record, I'm not a lawyer, I do not practice law, and I do not pretend to. All my videos are for informational and educational purposes only. They're all facts and all truth. Nothing more, nothing less. So with that being said, guys, let's get to it. Okay, so the reason why I'm doing this video is because there's a teaching going around telling men that a state is in fact a person when it comes to 42 U.S.C. 1983, okay? Even though they are quoting 28 U.S.C. subsection 3002 definitions, okay? But before we go over that information, I'd like you all to hit that like button, okay? And also, if you're new to my channel, hit that subscribe button. And after you hit that subscribe button, also hit that notification bell so you all can be notified as I drop these powerful videos. So with that being said, let's proceed forward. Okay, so now we are in fact coming from one of my favorite sources on the internet known as Cornell Law School, okay? The reason why I like coming to Cornell Law School because all their statutes and codes are up to date for federal and state, okay? So now, all this information is right in the palm of you guys' hands, all right? You don't have to go to the law library or anything else to get this simple information, all right? If anyone is telling you all you have to go to the law library to get simple legal information, then they're fooling you and they're fooling themselves, okay? So now, as you all can see again, this is the statute that they are quoting, right? Which is their main source that they are quoting to get you all to believe or try to get individuals to believe that persons are in fact states under 42 U.S.C. 1983, even though they are quoting from 28 U.S.C. subsection 3002 definitions, okay? So they in a totally different section or a totally different title, but they're trying to place one title and trying to use that title's definitions for another title, which is exactly wrong, okay, guys? When I tell you all to study to show that self-approved, that means read everything in its context, okay? Don't take it out of context. Read it in the context exactly what it states, and then you all will be okay, all right? So now, top line, guys, what does this say? As used in this chapter. And what chapter? This chapter, okay? Under what? 28 U.S.C. subsection 3002, not 42 U.S.C. 1983. You see what I mean, guys? So they already wrong from quoting the wrong definitions underneath the wrong title. But let's continue, guys, right? So now let's go down to person since they want to use this definition, right? So now let's scroll down to person. Number 10, it states, persons includes a natural person, including an individual Indian, a corporation, a partnership, an unincorporated association, a trust, or an estate, or any other public or private entity, including a state or local government, or an Indian tribe, okay? So yes, under 28 U.S.C. 3002, a state is a person. But I challenge that same individual who's teaching you guys this, that to find this definition under 42 U.S.C. subsection 1983. They will not, guys, okay? Why? Because I will show you all as we proceed forward. But as of right now, let's go over 42 U.S.C. 1983 so we can read it in its entirety. So let's go there. Okay, so now we are coming from 42 U.S.C. subsection 1983, which is titled Civil Actions for Deprivations of Rights. So now we're going to see if person stated in this definition applies to states, okay? So now let's pick this up at the top. It states what? Every person who, under color of any statute, ordinance, regulations, customs, or usage of any state or territory or the District of Columbia, subjects or causes to be subjected any citizen of the United States or other persons within the jurisdiction thereof to be deprived of any rights, privileges, or immunities secured by the Constitution and laws. Okay? Do you guys understand that? All right, so now let's do it again. So let's read it again. But instead of saying person, we're going to use the word state since they say the person means state. So now let's see. Let's read it in its context. Every state who, under color of any statute, ordinance, regulations, customs, or usage of any state. Now, do that make sense? No, it does not, guys. So obviously the term person really means the subjects. Okay? Why? Because they are what? Citizens of the United States, guys, as stated right here. Okay? We know citizens are subjects. We know that the states are not subject to any other state. Why? Because according to the 11th Amendment of the United States Constitution, each state is its own sovereign. And it's just that simple, guys. You have to read it in its proper context. Do not be deceived, okay? So now, with that being said, let's further go to the 11th Amendment of the United States Constitution, just so you all can read that in itself. So let's go there. Okay, so now, as you all can see, we are in fact coming from the 11th Amendment of the United States Constitution, okay? We know that the 11th Amendment of the United States Constitution granted the states its sovereignty, okay? So now, as you all can see, let's pick this up where it states right? It states, the judicial powers of the United States shall not be construed to extend to any suit in law or equity, commenced or prosecuted against one of the United States, okay? Meaning what? One of the 50 states. Right, or one of the several states, okay? Then it states what? By citizens of another state, or by citizens or subjects of any foreign state, okay? So it's basically stating that if, so let's say if you live in Virginia, but you want to sue New York, that falls underneath citizen of another state, okay? So now, that lawsuit will be barred underneath the 11th Amendment. Why? Because the state has sovereign immunity. Also, if you live in Virginia and you are a citizen of Virginia, right, that case will also be barred under the 11th Amendment, okay? And also, if you are subjects of any other foreign state, right, as it states, that case would also be barred underneath the 11th Amendment because the states have sovereign immunity. So the sooner you bring your case against the state in federal court, the first thing they will do is what? Motion to dismiss under Rule 12b-1 and 12b-6, basically failing the state a claim upon which relief can be granted. Why is that? Because the court cannot grant the relief because the state has sovereignty, and it's just that simple, guys, okay? So now, let's proceed forward with the case law. Let's get to the bottom of this. Let's go to the case law. Okay, so now, as you all can see, we're coming from Hayes versus LaForgue. This is, in fact, the Mississippi case. I'm not going to go over this case in its entirety. I'm just going to pull a few case laws from like 2 or 3 states just to show you guys, you know, out of the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses, let each matter be established. So we're going to determine whether or not the states are, in fact, persons underneath 1983. Okay, so it states what? Plaintiff, top right here, guys, so you all can see where I'm at. Plaintiff makes no argument that defendant has waived or consented to be sued. States, including arms of the state and state officers in their official capacities, are immune from suit on Section 1983 claims under the 11th Amendment, as states are not persons, right? States are not persons subject to liability under Section 1983, guys. The same thing I've been telling you all. And now, case law to support that. So let's read the bottom. Accordingly, waiver does not apply as an exception of 11th Amendment immunity in this case. So again, guys, okay, states are not persons subject to liability under Section 1983. Forget what these scammers are telling you guys. It's not true. But now let's go to another state. Okay, guys, so now as you all can see, this is in fact case number 2. We're coming from the state of Michigan in Will versus the Michigan Department of State. And it states at the top, guys, it states, some courts, including the Michigan Supreme Court here, have construed our decisions in Quan versus Jordan as holding by implications that a state is not a person under subsection 1983. So again, guys, states is not a person under subsection 1983. That's 2 witnesses. That don't take my word for it. You know, hey, this is not my court cases. I didn't create this. I did not make this stuff up. This is what they're ruling in the federal Supreme Courts. So now let's go to one more state. Like I said, out of the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses, let's establish the matter. So now let's go to the last state. Okay, so now, as you all can see, we're coming from the 3rd and final witness, which is coming out of the state of Arizona. And it clearly states what, guys? A state is not a person within Section 1983. So again, guys, these are not my words. These are what the Supreme Courts and the Courts of Appeals are ruling within themselves coming out of the federal district, okay? So now with that being said, guys, that's all I'm going to do for today. If you all need my help, hit me up in my email at yahismagnified@gmail.com. Let's get this right wisdom, this right knowledge, and this right understanding. Also, cop that merch, guys. And with that being said, I say shalom.